Uh, Mr. Elhart, you've been retained now to represent Mr. Foz. Are you prepared to go forward with the hearing this morning?
Yes, sure.
Okay, so Ms. Traska, if you could please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth? So help you God.
I do.
All right, and if you could please start by telling us your name and how you're employed.
Amanda Traska, probation officer for Leelanau County with District Court.
Hang on just a moment, Mr. Elhart.
If I may, Your Honor, Mr. Foz is here to admit that he is unable to do the community service work.
Okay, so he wants to enter a plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
What about the added violations for, let's see, failed to continue counseling with the cancer center, disrespectful of court employees and care providers, and acting in a threat, intimidating, harassing manner. Okay, so then, Mr. Foz, is that correct? You're changing your plea in this case to guilty of the violations. That's what you want to do, is plead guilty.
That's his direction, yes, sir.
Okay, so it's still your decision, but I understand you've consulted with Mr. Elhart, and that's what you've decided to do.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before I take your plea, I want to make sure you understand that you do have a right to a hearing at which Mr. Elhart would represent you, and you're choosing to waive that right, correct?
Yes.
Do you also understand that the worst that could happen is for this conviction of leaving an accident causing injury is you could be sentenced to up to a year in jail? Thing that could happen. Do you want to talk to your attorney some more about that?
By violating probation, the worst thing that can happen is the maximum.
Okay, so you understand that, correct? Okay. Has Mr. Elhart answered all of your questions to your satisfaction?
Yes.
And no one's used any force, threats, coercion, or made any promises to you to get you to waive your right to a hearing this morning, have they?
I'm going to say no, sir.
All right. Then the report indicates you were placed on probation back in October of 2023 for leaving the scene of an accident causing an injury. And as a condition of that probation, you were to complete 30 days of community.
Buckle up, because this one is a roller coaster of entitlement, delusion, and courtroom drama. Today's case features a man who took road rage to an entirely new level. A self-proclaimed victim who ran over bikers with his truck, got off easy thanks to medical issues, and then somehow decided to threaten the very people who gave him mercy. You can't make this stuff up. What started as a moment of rage spiraled into probation violations, intimidation, and a courtroom showdown that'll make you question how anyone could play the victim this hard. Watch closely, because this isn't just a story of bad choices. It's a crash course in how arrogance and anger can undo every ounce of leniency a judge ever gives. So grab your popcorn, because Male Karen, Truck Edition, is about to meet
service work within the first 180 days. Is that true?
Yes.
And the fact is you did not complete the 30 days in the 180 days, correct? There's also an allegation that you failed to continue your counseling with the cancer center as ordered. Is that true?
True with extenuating circumstances. It's not true that I refuse or I'm not doing it. As I've mentioned before, a letter was sent from the parole office without my permission or knowledge to my medical providers asking for information on my medical records. When I found out about that, I called my medical provider. They said they deleted the email. Like, this went on for about 3 months, me trying to get the email from my provider. She went to legally refused. And because of that letter that was written by the probation department and my asking about it, they discontinued service. They refused service because they didn't want to get involved in a legal case. I also went to my,
Okay, so I'm going to give you and Mr. Alhart a full opportunity to explain the circumstances of these violations. But for right now, I'm just trying to establish if you're pleading guilty to this. For whatever reason, you did not complete the counseling that was ordered through Cowell Cancer Center, correct?
correct, but not due to my circumstance, due to their circumstance.
The answer is yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, is it also true you were disrespectful to court employees and or service or care providers?
I was honest with them.
Okay, but would you agree that you were disrespectful to them?
To me, sir, that's a very subjective term.
Well, we can have a hearing on that issue. We can
Well-
have Ms. Traska go through all of the emails and other correspondence.
I've got them too. I've got them here as well. And if you mean saying, fuck you and the horse,
Right out of the gate, we've got the defendant's attorney trying to soften the blow, essentially walking and saying, look, he can't do community service, so let's just plead guilty and move on. But here's where the cracks start to show. The violations aren't just about missed service hours. They include harassment, disrespect, and threats toward court staff, all while this guy's on probation. Think about that. This court bent over backwards to keep him out of jail, and instead of gratitude, he gives them grief. It's almost like he thinks his medical condition grants him immunity from the consequences of being a jerk. Spoiler.
You can take into account whether or not you think the board is appropriate to consider for any sentence.
All right, so Mr. Alhart, are you okay with that?
I am your.
All right, so then, Mr. Foss, to the first three allegations, how do you plead?
Yes.
guilty.
I'll accept your plea, find it is voluntary, accurate, and understanding. And Mr. Alhart, what else would you like me to know?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm in the sentencing phase now, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you. Your Honor, Mr. Foz was, and you had received it, I think, a copy of a letter dated nearly a year ago, where he was given 2 years to live. He may not make it.
And here comes the first classic male Karen move. Asterisk. Wait, I thought we already went through all that. No. Buddy, this isn't about the original sentence. This is about you breaking the deal that kept you out of a cell. The judge patiently explains that probation isn't a get-out-of-jail-free card. It's a second chance that you just violated. But the audacity here is wild. He's acting confused like the system blindsided him. In reality, he's just refusing to own the fact that he's one step away from serving that full year in jail. If anything, the judge's restraint here deserves a medal, because many would have revoked
His next birthday. He's under daily chemotherapy. Cancer has spread to his bones, the rest of his body, and the liver is at correct lymph nodes. I'm sure that he's undergone great deal of modifications to his temperament, the way he behaves, and everything else due to the cancer. I'm very certain, looking at his history and talking to him about his history, what he's done for our country, that he was an exemplary citizen. Cancer has changed who he is and what he is doing. His behavior many times inappropriate. Certainly, I understand his dismay that his medical rights were violated. By the same token, I understand what was going on. He can't do any work of any kind. He can barely make it here today.
Mr. Alhart, are you aware that he was given the opportunity to consult with the probation agent to try to come up with non-physical.
And here comes the excuse train. With extenuating circumstances as the engine listen, when probation tells you to attend counseling, you go to counseling. You don't ghost your treatment because of an email mix-up. But our guy here manages to twist a simple urement into a conspiracy. He's blaming his probation officer for contacting his doctor, saying that's why his medical provider refused service. Convenient, right? The reality? Probation officers do have to verify compliance. That's literally their job. So instead of fixing the problem, he created drama and used it as an excuse not to comply. The judge, meanwhile,
Physical activities that would count as community service work, such as writing letters to veterans.
I wasn't aware of that.
I wasn't aware they did it, that's never been proposed to me.
Right here in open court. Okay, go ahead, Mr. O'Hara.
What was right here in court, Your Honor?
When we were here on the first probation violation. Okay, thank you. Mr. Foss, is there anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, there's a lot that I'd like to add, Your Honor, but it doesn't really pertain to what we're doing here today. I've been really disappointed by the professionalism exhibited by the probation department, my violation of my rights. The scales of justice don't seem to be equal. Inflammatory language refuses, inflammatory language like that. It's not accurate. It's not true. I never acted in a threatening, intimidating manner. What I do demand is service from my public employees, and refusal of service is unacceptable to me.
when asked if he was disrespectful, this man tries the OL subject of argument, like respect is just a matter of opinion. Then he casually admits to telling staff to go bleep themselves and the horse they rode in on. You heard that right. He just confirmed it under oath. It's moments like these where you can almost hear the collective sigh of courtroom staff thinking, yup, that tracks. He's so deep in denial he thinks honesty equals disrespect, when really, it's his own attitude digging the hole deeper. It's self-sabotage 101, and he's the valedictorian.
Legal system works, but when I am refused service, it makes me a little irritated. I expect professionalism from my public employees, and I admit I've not been professional. I've been irate, and I get that way very easily. Part of it's, as we mentioned before, testosterone has a huge impact on that. It changes your personality. I had a doctor's appointment last week, and I mentioned that to my doctor, and he said it's an effect of testosterone. And the reason I'm unable to perform these tasks is because of my testosterone levels, my chemotherapy, my sicknesses. The reason I missed my last appointment for probation, and I mentioned this to Ms. Trask, I wrote her a letter. I'm very sorry I missed the appointment. I was ill. I don't get my mail every week. I apologized, and I asked her if there was something I could do to mitigate the situation. I never received a reply. So it's not that I'm fighting and refusing to do what you're asking me to do. I will happily do, if I could, sir, I would happily do what you asked me to do, but I'm not physically able to do it. I've mentioned that I would be happy to pay a fine to help out the community, but physical activity service, I'm not able to do it.
All right. Mr. Chamberlain, anything for the people?
Your Honor, I agree with Mr. Foz that the scales of justice are not equal.
The defense tries to limit the damage by focusing on the 3 violations he's admitting to. But the judge knows what's really happening. This is a pattern. Threatening behavior, intimidation, and manipulation, it's all there. You can tell the judge is done playing nice, and what's truly jaw-dropping is how the defendant still acts like he's the one being wronged. When people like this enter the courtroom, it's like a test of patience for the entire justice system. They twist accountability into victimhood and expect sympathy on demand. But the law doesn't run on feelings, and the judge's tone is about to shift from understanding to enough is enough.
In this case, because he was charged with a felony and could have been charged with 2 others for felonious assault. Your Honor, he got mad at someone who flipped him off. He turned around, drove his vehicle right at them, slammed on the brakes, and one of the people got hit. That person was in the hospital.
Now, this part takes a sharp emotional turn. His lawyer plays the sympathy card, hard. We find out the man has terminal cancer, spreading through his bones and liver, and that the medication is affecting his temperament. That's heartbreaking, no doubt. But even with that context, the courtroom can't ignore the fact that he's been disrespectful, non-compliant, and threatening to others. It's a moral tightrope, compassion versus